Ethan and we're in Ukraine, in Kharkiv to be exact. This is my hometown, this is the place where I grew up. Let me tell you about the difference between China and Ukraine. Let's go. So Ukraine is a small country with like, well, it's not small in terms of territory, it's like the biggest country in Europe. And by the way, this square is the biggest square in Europe too. But in terms of population, it's not that big. For example, in Ukraine, for now, I might be wrong, but it's like around 42 million people. Just to compare, a city where I just came from, Beijing, is like 23 million people officially in Beijing, which brings me to a number like 30 million around in one city. And in Ukraine, in the entire country, we had only 10 million more. So that's the first difference. You don't have a lot of people here, and now it's a day off, and this is the central square, and I'm literally alone here. Yeah, well, that's difference number one. There's a university right behind me. It's one of the oldest universities in Ukraine and the oldest in Kharkiv. And on that side, there, that is the most expensive hotel in the whole town, which is actually not very expensive. And that is the city hall. Yeah, it's kind of tiny compared to what you have in Beijing, for example. Another thing about Ukraine is that sometimes it's pointless, but when you meet people outside, like just on the street, and they ask you random things like, do you know that guy, or do you know how to find that shop, or what time is it now, you can actually answer them. And it makes such a big difference, for me at least. Like, I find so much joy in these pointless conversations sometimes, because in China you're like, unfortunately I don't know Chinese, so in China you're really like foreigner. Here you feel like home. It doesn't mean I like it so much, but it's just one of this little thing makes a big difference. Now, another thing about Ukraine, the difference like in price-wise and money-wise, like there's a lot of cash here. I mean, it's not like there's a lot of cash. It's like you always have to use cash. You always have to have some with you. Otherwise, you'll probably get stuck somewhere. You can buy food. I mean, like, you can use a credit card, but most people still use cash. And another thing, price-wise, so it is much cheaper than in China. Some of the places are still very expensive, but still, like, food here is so good. It's like the best food I've tried so far. And the air is like super clean. There's no pollution. And one more thing you will probably never see in China. So now in Ukraine there's like an election coming, and there's like a lot of politics going around. So like I said, this is the center of the city, and there's like some kind of a meeting or something, manifestation, I don't know. I have no idea what's it all about. Let me just show you. You see? Oh, there's a drone. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get closer. Just check it out. This is a huge flag of Ukraine. Me sitting right under the huge flag of Ukraine, just in the middle of the city, just in the middle of the day. It's always good to be home, but it's time to leave for me now, because in 2 days we're heading. I'll tell you later where we're heading. See you. One more thing, don't forget to hit subscribe. Come on, come on, come on.